Hello, hello. It's that time to check in with the messages of the day. Yay! Okay, let's bring these guys in here. Let's bring these guys in. Look at this beautiful. This is one of my roses. It's the fragrant one. Yes. It smells so fantastico. Okay, let us check in first with the Arcturians and see where we're starting. What are we to consider, to look upon, to validate what we already intuitively feel, know within us? Sometimes we just need that little extra thing that makes us go, you know? Okay. Let's ask for the Akasharians to bring us in messages for our greatest and highest good. Nope, nothing there. What do you got for us? What do you have for us? Today, the weather has been giving us everything: sun, rain, wind. I guess that's some of the things. Okay. What is this? Blueprint. We all have our blueprint, our own program that we took with us to this life on earth. To become fully balanced, we will have to return to our most basic program so we can follow the right path starting from scratch. The energy of blueprint helps you clean your programs and delete anything that no longer suits you and serves no purpose anymore. Okay, deleting old programs, outdated programs. There was a little bit of purging your space that came up in the last reading. And, these are also relevant. These old things that we collect, that collects dust, that collects energy, holds energy from the past. These are old, dated cookies, right? We're in the program world, which I'm not fully versed in. Wundo joy. That's the joy card, I think. Looks pretty joyful. It's got this hummingbird, which for me is a symbol of joy. Look at those blooming flowers. Okay. Wundo. Joy, pleasure, belonging, kindreds, and prosperity. Okay, so I'm getting this is your baseline blueprint, the one that you came in with. And we have to sort through and get rid of all those cookies, clear the cache, all those things. Okay, the hummingbird is joyful as he dances in between the flowers. His happy energy and satisfaction and harmony with life brings his wishes into being. He dances his dance, surrounded by the jewel like flashes of his friends and family. Wunjo, with its ecstatic energy, is a most welcome rune in a reading. It has a certain bittersweetness as the final rune of the first et, bringing the whisper of change or a shift, like the first rays of a sunset after a perfect day. When this delightful rune pops up, you can expect joy, fellowship, and harmony, a symbol of well-being. It brings love, prosperity, and fulfillment. Woohoo! Yeah, we'll take that. And that feels right, that's the blueprint we came in. We're meant to be joyful, loving creators, co-creators of our life. And so, yeah, we will take it and we will bake it into a cake that we put whipped cream on and cinnamon. Love it, love it. Yeah, stuff is can be like, dust particles, right? Dust is like the evidence of alternate dimensions or of the past. Dust is like remnants of the past, which is why a space after it's been dusted feels so refreshed and renewed, because you've taken away the past and allowed the now to exist in it. Fragments. It's like cookies, right? Cookies, as far as I understand, are like little remnants of places that you've been on the internet in the past. And so release those things. Let them go, let them flow, let them show you the way to the new you. That's actually the original you. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where's it going? That one there, that one there. Those ones, this one, that there, and there. Just like that, they say. Who they are, we don't know. Okay, that feels like the spread for today. Good. Okay, let's start with this one. Yay! Celebrate. This is your divine spirit team cheering you on and also getting your attention, right? But mostly cheering you on. Ancestors, archangels, and ascended masters working together, creating this. It's almost like a compass. I'm getting a compass. So it's like, go this way, or you're going the right way. We'll see. We'll see what else we've got here. We've got lovers and the hermit. Okay, so period of hermiting. This is like the hermit journey, the going within and combining your light with the light within, right? This is also like finding your own twin flame, right? That's your flame. There's your twin flame, and this is the pathway to it, back to it, which is this reuniting of the whole. But you need to go into the dark, get rid of all the noise of other people to find your way back to yourself, right? Which is why the hermiting process is part of the process in whatever way that you are able to do it, right? And this is the union of your flames, the masculine, feminine energy, the balance within. Okay, so while you're in hermit mode here, you're able to become independent, focus on your garden, your environment, your home space, your three-dimensional realm, and make it beautiful, make it yours, make it a safe space. Okay, this is independence and reaping what you've sown, like creating a safe space for yourself and taking the time to be in it, right? And this is the being, this is the centering, the grounding, the meditative practice, the balancing of the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual realms. Okay. And we've got this King of Wands and these people. I don't know what's going on, but these guys come out together quite a bit. And the people are moving away from this king. So part of this hermiting process is to be a little bit more discerning on who gets access to you, who you let into your area. And these people are moving away from your area. Okay, let's go. Let's do these ones. They are moving towards this Queen of Wands. We've got divine counterparts here. So this is the action, and this is the star power, shine power, the be seen. And this is taking a leap of faith. We'll see what else we've got here. We've got destiny, and we have release, old versions of self in an honoring, recognizing, recognition kind of way, right? There's an altar, laying the body out on the altar to release. So it's like this recognition of those past versions of self as necessary parts of along the way, which makes sense, right? You can't be fully in your who you are now without the recognition of all the things that got you there, right? They were all part of the path. So therefore, valid and worth honoring, right? And this is truth and destiny. Okay, let's just get all the cards out here. This is making a move. Patient, prepared person. And this is hanging out and seeing things from a different perspective. Okay, so if you've been with us from the beginning, if you notice, my readings are numbered because I'm weird like that. And so what I do is I kind of apply meaning to the cards based on what I see, right? And and then carry those forward so that, you and me, we can, especially if you keep up with the readings, you can start to divine for yourself, right? Like see what's, and read for yourself, which is kind of the point that I'm trying to do with the consistency. But some of the cards shift slightly depending on the other cards around it, like the entourage effect. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And then, tapping in with your intuition, what feels right, what feels like is the message. Okay. So it's not going to be for everybody, but, and you can go where it feels right for you. If I go this way and you go that way, then, there we are, moving places. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So we're talking about your blueprint, and it's kind of giving me this way back to the self, which is love and joy, right? We've got this hermiting, this looking at things from a different perspective, this um, focusing your time and energy on yourself and your safe space and your environment, letting go of all the things, people, places, persons personalities, versions of self, taking leaps of faith, taking action. Um, and maybe this is a taking action on, who gets access to you, being a little bit more action oriented on who you spend your time with. This is the sharing your truth, and this balancing of self, and then this patient movement towards love. This is like, first you heal your heart, and then you are able to offer it to someone else, perhaps. In one of the last readings, I talked about how, healing your heart, those other attempts at love, finding love, being open to love with another person, and it maybe not working out. And so we kind of protect our heart and stuff like that. It's because there was a level of unreadiness. Like, we weren't going all in with our love because we were at certain places in our journey as far as like self-worth and ability to risk, right? So it's kind of like giving me the always having one foot out the door when you're not fully in your heart, when you haven't healed within the self, right? So all those previous attempts, there's always one foot out the door, which is creating this draft. And so you were never really giving it the all in, door closed, let's heat this, let's hotbox this joint. You know what I mean? There was always this draft. And this is kind of why people do the work to heal the heart. It redefines their capacity to love, to be love, to share love, to feel love, to give love. But it starts with you, right? Because we project and reflect onto one another. And so, it doesn't matter who it is, we're just going to project our fears, worries, inadequacies, perceived or otherwise, our lack of worthiness, pushing people away, pulling them in when they're pushing away, right? It becomes this contaminated experiment. And this process here, it's also like the balancing of the masculine and feminine energies and being prepared before and balanced before moving on love, before being open to it. It's like this going within. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. But you is me and me is you. And so we need to figure it out first, feel it first. And then your sense of self-worth, and then it's not like, I love you. Oh, I don't love you. Oh no, my whole world and my heart is broken now because you don't love me. It's like, okay, well, I would prefer somebody who also loved me. So, okay, So this is past experience. Emotional cups speak of the emotional realm, and it's also accumulation and momentum. Okay. And where does it go now? Where does it go? Where does it go? Oh, where does it go now? Sorry. How does it feel over here? I think when we're in hermit mode and we're looking at things differently and knowing what to let go, and, being in this self-tended garden space, that's when we can really sit and reconsider and look at the past experiences that we've had, those past cups. It also speaks about, holding the momentum, being mindful of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. I mean, it might go here. It might go here because it's linked to people and your past experiences and taking action on those you allow to fill your cup and those that are just taking from your cups, right? And taking action on that, being able to be like, nope. How does that feel? And your spirit team, giving you the signs and synchronicities of like, this one doesn't feel right. You need to let that one go. This feeling, hold on to that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if that one's going to stay there. Also, this taking a leap of faith, leaping towards the release here. And that's what I'm getting from the blueprint, is like getting rid of those old cookies right? Releasing those things. This is an action that needs to be taken. So this is giving me physical realm release. So like purge, get rid of old stuff that you don't need anymore. That's holding dust, right? Holding the energy of the past. And you use your intuition, right? Marie Kondo it. I don't know if you know Marie Kondo, but she has this whole thing where you hold the item and if it brings you joy, you keep it. And if it doesn't, let it go and maybe it'll give somebody else joy, right? And that's a feeling. That's the high priestess intuitive realm here. Okay? And I feel like this goes here because you are strengthening by creating a stillness, a separatedness in your hermiting mode, right? Where you are allowing space for you to familiarize yourself with what is yours energetically, emotionally, mentally, right? All of those realms. And and then tending your garden, weeding what needs to be weeded, planting what needs to be planting, nurturing what needs to be nurtured, right? And looking at things from a different perspective, seeing things, taking a beat. This is that hangout and release, right? There's always the release. And so this is what's tapping you back into your intuition, your feminine aspect, right? Your inner knowing, your gut feelings. This is why we need to quiet the noise because there's expectations from others, there's obligations from others, there's all these other factors that can really make it hard, right? It's all about reconnecting with your baseline, getting back to your blueprint. Oh my goodness, 5% battery. I did it again. I'm so sorry. I think my battery just loses its charge faster than I anticipate. I did have Google Earth running on it, Google Maps for a good chunk of the day today. Dang it. Okay. Well, I think I might have to charge for a bit and then come back to this reading. That feels weird. Doesn't it feel weird? I feel like we're tapped in now. Dang it. Okay, but I can't charge it at the same time because now I got this microphone jack that goes into the charger jack. There's the death and release. Okay, this is also transformation. You need to release the old in order to allow space for the new. Same with purging your space. Get rid of those old things that are taking up space in that corner. And then now you have this clear corner. And then, as you're going along your path and you find this beautiful plant that can stick in that corner, well, you wouldn't have even thought to have got that plant and stick it in that corner if it was still full of all that crap from before, right? So death and release is a very crucial part of the transformation process here. Okay. And it's not just chuck it. Some things, yes, but there's an honoring, there's a recognition. Okay, so that is death is over here in the death part. Okay, Mims. Okay, Muffin. Okay. Are we just gonna push it to the edge and then when it stops, it stops? What do you think? She's so cute. You're so cute. Okay. We can get one more card here. Mims is like, you're done. Okay, well, thank you for being here. If it cuts us off. And yeah, I will be on the battery situation for next time. Main message so far is purge, release, clear your cache. Okay, this is a crossroads. This is being at that point where you can no longer upload until you empty your trash bin. Okay, so I might just start this up again after. So if it continues, then it does. And if it doesn't, well, then it doesn't. Okay. See you later. Bye. Hello, we're back. We're back and we are on it. Okay. There it is. There's the reading. Okay. So where were we here? We've got intuition. We've got this crossroads here. We've got death and release. We've got the balance and choosing to take the sword from the stone to choose your destiny here. It's also choosing your words, choosing your truth, right? If this is the sword of truth as well as your destiny. And this is that balanced state. And this is speaking, being seen. We've got this speaking the truth and knowing when to. I'm getting tact. Okay, especially when it comes to these people being drawn to you and your truth. Okay, the Five of Pentacles, either moving away or towards the center, towards the temple. This is an action, and I feel like this is in here. This is the choosing to go within. Okay, part of your hermiting, that's the choosing to go within. The tending and the balancing of the masculine and feminine. We've got the masculine and feminine energies here, holding hands, moving together within. towards your spirit teams, towards your spirituality, towards your center, your heart, the healing of your heart. Right? To move away is to be left out in the cold. To stand at the door with your foot at halfway in, you're not fully in. And so you got to heal the parts, right? So the ace speaks about being an overflowing cup full of liquid sunshine, overflowing, and everything your overflow touch plant seeds. But it's also about an offer. And as you overflow, you are offering just in your existence of overflowing, right? You're offering. It's like at a parade when they're throwing things out to the crowd. They're usually up on a float and they're in a position, and so their range throwing out to the people is a lot easier. I don't know, that was a specific and weird, but we'll go with it. But it's also an offer coming in here. And where did it land? It was somewhere over here. This could be a love offer. It's linked to the love and the patience, potentially. This is also being able to offer love. Oh, we got devils flipping out here. I think the devils are going over here with things that need to be released, right? Fears, being able to see things from different perspectives, those things that seem like, like you could consider somebody rejecting you as a form of devilry, right? But rejection is also a form of protection. And so even just considering, when a door closes, instead of being upset about it and evoking your own devils within by struggling against the flow of the river, like obviously that way is blocked. And to stand there and stomp your feet and throw a tantrum isn't forward moving, right? And this listening to your intuition, releasing what is not for you, clearly, like a closed door, that way is not for you, especially if it's locked, right? By being able to recognize, okay, that's not for me, and redivert your path in a new direction. It's like a quicker recovery time to maintain this momentum so that you're not wasting so much time and energy. Like throwing a temper tantrum takes a lot of freaking energy. Right? That's why they get all red and, loud and slammy when people throw a temper tantrum. There's no control there. That's the devils. That's the devil within. You've relinquished full control to the rage. And that's why in that state you end up saying things that you don't mean, doing things that you don't mean, that are hurtful and sometimes hard to take back. Right? So this working, going within, recognizing it's an important part for everybody involved. Yeah, that's the work. Okay. Knowing when, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, and go within. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? In touch, grounded and in touch with your higher states of consciousness, with your higher self, your intuition, and the grounding. Super important. Okay. So the work is knowing when to take a beat, when to not strike, when to hold your tongue, when to not respond, right? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Not everything requires your input. It's just like no response is a response, right? Like it it does speak without even having to say a word, without having to extend any energy. Oh, what's this? Ha! Release the old and also having access to excess. So that's this action. Could somehow be involved with these people here. The work, this is the work. This is the work. Boom. Know when to take a leap of faith, know when to release so that you can transform, know when to let go of the devils, look at the devils from a different perspective, reintegrate, whatever you got to do, connect it to your intuition here, okay? And I feel like there's this connection here. We're starting to veer off the screen for you, but I put it between the devils and death and releasing. This knowing when to hold it, knowing when to walk away, know when to run. Okay, and this going within, I think, is how you handle those situations. Yes, I will allow it. and then abundance comes in. Okay, so I feel like your abundance is kind of in here. It's linked to your process of hermiting and self-care, right? Your joy and your love, your balancing of your all your realms, and your connection to your higher self. This is where your abundance comes in. This is like long-lasting legacy abundance, right? This is the stuff, this is the rewriting of the code. This is the when you get rid of all these old things that are no longer serving, the bugs, the I just don't have enough computer references for you, but you know what I'm saying. And bring it back to our baseline, which is joyful, loving, connected, balanced individuals. Okay. I've got some wacky card placements, but they make sense. They do. Okay. Who else is coming out here? We've got the Knight of Cups. This is the communication knight. This is the knight that's on the move, and he knows where he's going, and he's heading there fast. Okay. And he's protected. We got two knights here. This protected message, this information, this is an offer of some kind. Okay. This could be what's in his cup. This offer of love, overflow. This could be person, place, or thing, right? Job opportunity, love offer, business partner, friendship, all of the above. So something protected is heading your way. And I feel like it's part of your destiny here. I feel like we're kind of here. I feel like this knight, look at all the knights are over here. We've got a protected, patient, and messenger knight here, all heading towards love, which is good news. Love is everything. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Right? When you are love, when you hold love, when you embody love, you have love to give. You draw love in. You're able to recognize love and to stand in it with both feet, door closed, and give it the opportunity to feel the heat that love can produce when everyone involved is all in. It's different. It's different. You know, I've been in relationships where when I was open, they were closed. When they were open, I was closed. And it was like this push pull, one foot out the door. Okay, I'm in. Am I kind of, I still got a window open. You know, I still got my eyes set on the nearest and quickest exit in case so that I don't get hurt. So my heart doesn't get hurt. But when you are functioning from love, with love, as love, there's no risk of your heart being hurt. It's not so fragile. It can still love regardless of where, who, why, when, right? It's not dependent on someone else to hold the heart pieces together for it to function. It's standing on its own. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. Let's end that. And let's go to the fairies. They seem to find a way of communicating what we need to know. One sec. Okay. It's later in the day than usual, so I'm multitasking. Oops. Got things in the oven. I gotta be mindful I don't burn. What's this guy? The Faff of Fluters? Well, why is he flipped? I haven't even started yet. And so is Lalin the Sylph. I've never seen these cards before, so they weren't like a last reading leftover or put in wrong. So let's take them. Let's take them. The fairies have a way of doing all kinds of things. Faff the Footer. Faff the Footer. That's this guy. Being real, earthing, grounding, and centering. Okay. So there's that dealing with devils and the death and the release and the things, and also the centering of self, right? And all of the things. So here we go. Okay. Okay. Breathe, ground, center. Maintain or recover your sanity by staying earthed. Do this now. Important information is coming your way, but you can only receive it properly if your feet are on a terra firma and your head is well connected to the rest of your body. Okay. I feel like we can probably get more from him. He's talking about grounding and checking your feet. Here's tips for earthing. Stroke your feet gently with both hands, each one for 5 minutes. You can also check for holes in your socks while you're doing this. Paint your toenails bright red, then your toes say a cherry, or should it be cheery, hey ya, to you when you look at them. That's why I paint my toes red. And this reminds you to keep them on the ground. Even when you can't see them, it will probably still remind you, especially if you are a man. That's funny. Okay, so ground, breathe, center. Okay, is his message. And let's go to Taten the Sylph. Acute intellect, quickness, mental synthesis, and discernment. Taten glitters and glimmers brightly. She scatters a special fairy dust that energizes the mind. However, energy is not everything, and the fairy dust that actually makes minds brighter as well as more energized is more rare, and she distributes it much less often. She is full of curiosity and wants to go everywhere, see everything, and have every question answered. Like the 2-year-old asking, why? She wants to know all, even the things that by their very nature cannot be known to the conscious mind. Okay, she is an awakener, one who startles us into seeing and thinking in new and exciting ways. She loves to sit in on teenage and college age discussions about the profound questions of life. She is full of bright ideas and willing to discuss them at length. She is not too bothered about whether the discussions make much sense or not. Ideas with wings are her joy, and mental stimulation is her game. Taten has inertia-less flight, like thought. She's not bound by the rules of mass and momentum. Therefore, she can radically change direction without notice more quickly than a hummingbird. What we see here is mental quickness, adaptability, and enthusiasm. Ideas and opinions abound. A few are brilliant, but others vary from mediocre to downright silly. Be selective. Mental and psychic abilities may be awakening. Independent thinking is in operation. New ideas and new versions of old ideas are creating an exciting, effervescent atmosphere. Avoid excess and extremes. Okay, that's maybe what this one's about. This excess. Extra. Minds may change often as new ideas and new ways of seeing bubble to the surface. Out of conflict and confusion, resolved by goodwill and clear thinking, a new and better understanding may come. Okay, and that's kind of what we were talking about over here with these these thoughts, turning them around so that you're not wasting any energy throwing a temper tantrum. And this excess, along with friends here, this group of people, choose wisely, right? Because you're maintaining this emotional state, this regularity. Okay. Shall we see if the little animals from the Animal Spirit Oracle want to come out and see us? I saw a black bear today running, and a squirrel, and a raven. Well, I've seen lots of ravens, but this one was sitting and was like, look at me, I'm so regal. You know, when you see animals and they're like, I don't know, regal. Phoenix and fish. Okay, here we go. There's that rebirth energy of the phoenix. And the fish, I don't know what the fish ish is about here. What's the fish ish? Relentless, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be submerged in life's current, subsumed. Nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. Okay, and I feel like this is the going within, the checking within. There's a lot of grounding, breathing stuff going on. Okay. When in balance, adaptable travels well. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. And to bring it to balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. Okay, and then we have Phoenix from the Flame. Freedom from suffering and past karma reincarnation. Okay, yes, this is the death and transformation, the death of the old for the new to be born. This is literally the Phoenix story here. The Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long lost list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, and what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the phoenix lifts our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign the fire of transformation is upon your wings. The ancient yogis believed that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. This earthen center is also called Maladara of our root, or our root. The ascent of the phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash towards the navel center. Again and again, it makes this journey from first to third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. Okay, and this is that phoenix program that you are running to delete all the old things that you no longer leave, to return you back to your love, joy center. Okay. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, this is already longer than it would have been if I did it all the way, but we'll do it anyway here. Okay. Let's. Why we got banging happening? Okay. Get one of these little mushroom cards. I'm making a mushroom gravy. It's gonna be good. Aha. This one. Impress. You are beautiful, and what you are doing is beautiful. You and your purpose need to stand out because you are different, and this is exactly what is needed at this time. It is time to make yourself seen and show the world the beauty you have to offer. This is Queen of Wands mode here. This is a beautiful card to pull, indicating it is something or someone's time to really make an impression. Standing out for being different or unique can be daunting, but rest assured it will be worth it. What impresses you in others? Are there certain qualities you admire that you could benefit by taking on yourself? Is there someone who could really use a compliment at the moment because they don't fully believe in themselves? Whatever the situation or the person, this card is saying now is the time. Don't wait any longer. The world needs more unique and beautiful beings in it. Be that person, get that project off the ground, and help elevate someone who needs you. When you stand up and make an impression on someone, it can have a life changing effect on them. You never know who may be watching in silence and admiring your beauty. You might help someone find their path by watching your journey and seeing how brave you are by standing out and making yourself seen. You never know how long we are here for, so make your life count. Your purpose doesn't need to be a big one, just do it well and stand proud. Beautiful messages for you today. Okay, it is verdigris agaric. Okay, and then get the kitties. So ask the kitties to come out. I'm curious about banging. I never hear banging from that side of the wall. Okay, balance. Meet Varo Tiptoe Sky. She can balance perfectly with an inner precision and assurance. She leans one way and then the other, constantly adjusting and learning where her center lies. She understands the dichotomies: work and play, togetherness and solitude, inner reflection and outer expression, striving and letting go, accepting and changing, freedom and discipline, reason and intuition, spiritual expansion and grounding. They go on and on. Let Varo help you to see what areas of your life are out of balance and what shifts you can make to return to a graceful equilibrium. Beautiful end to the reading confirmation, right? The balancing, the centering, the earthing, the grounding, the releasing, and the patient prepared movement to love. Okay, beautiful. Okay, there's the reading. There you have it. That's what we're going to do. And that's what has been done. So there you have it. Wherever you are, whenever you're getting this, I hope that it is good for you and that you come out a little bit more centered, grounded, and balanced. Okay. And let yourself shine like the rare, beautiful being that you are. Okay. Love you. Make positive choices for yourself and let love be your guide. Okay. See you next time. Love you. Bye.